Hi guys, and I'll be giving my movie review on X, which released in 2022, and I hope you enjoy. So this follows a casting crew who gather to make a pornography film on an elderly couple's rural Texas property, but they find themselves threatened by an unlikely killer. So I'm going to start with what I liked, and obviously what I disliked, but I'm going to start with what I liked. And I have a lot of likes about this movie. So the first one is the year is set. Obviously, it's set in 1970 something, I think, and it felt like I was watching like a really old movie. I don't know why. I felt like it was like generally old. I felt like they did that pretty well because I actually thought I was watching. Well, I knew it was a 2022 film at first, but watching it, I was like, "Oh, am I even in a 2022 film?" Because the way they like made it set in 1970 something, and I think they did that good. It did feel like a 19 whatever. Because set in 1979, it felt like that era, even though I wasn't born then, it just, the amount of horror movies I've watched in that, well, year and stuff, it just felt in the year. Okay, the next positive is it had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe to it, like the original. Like you got the group in a van on the way somewhere. Obviously, they were two completely different movies, but I had that vibe to it. And they did do a shot that looked like it was from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I did like that. The next thing that I liked is Brittany Snow's character. I loved her character so much. She plays Bobby Lynn, and she's just an icon. She plays her so well, and I enjoyed her performance. The next thing I liked is the acting by everyone. Similar to what I said about Brittany Snow's character, everyone did a good job, including like General Ortega, Mia Goth, other people, the other cast members, I don't know their names. I just feel like they did a really good job, especially General Ortega and Mia Goth. Like General Ortega's scream was just so good and gave me chills, and Mia Goth's just acting is just brilliant as well, especially near the end. Okay, the next thing I liked is they kind of fooled us, which I liked because I thought Lorraine was going to be the final girl. She just gave that material, like she had that final girl material, then she just dies at the end. So they kind of fooled us, and that was kind of funny. I literally did not expect that, and I did like the unexpected things. Like we didn't expect some things in the movie, but yeah, so they surprised us, and I like how we got that. Another thing I liked is I like the connection, like little connection between Maxine and Pearl, because they're similar. Obviously, Pearl, there's that movie now, played by the same actress, Mia Goth, and in this movie, obviously, got Mia Goth playing Maxine. And I like their little connection because we have Maxine, who is a star, and Pearl's obviously jealous because she never got that life. I just like the connection. Like, Pearl wanted Maxine's life, which is interesting and stuff. And I think Maxine wanted Pearl's life, not like the killing and stuff. Like, I didn't know if she wanted to be famous or not, because like her dad and stuff. But yeah, I did like the connection between Maxine and Pearl. Okay, the next thing is I liked how vulnerable Howard is, because he's not just some strong old man. I liked how it was realistic, especially when, spoiler, he got like a heart attack because General Ortega's character scaring him. So I liked how realistic the characters were, especially Howard with his heart attacks and stuff, his heart problem. I felt that was realistic, and he said it earlier on in the movie, and I liked how that was played on later in the movie, like a little foreshadow. I also liked how the crocodile was a foreshadow, kind of, when Maxine was obviously in the lake and the crocodile comes up. I knew that crocodile was going to kill someone, and I was right because I felt like it was a foreshadow because that crocodile wouldn't just be there. Obviously, it's going to be used for something, so I liked that. I also like the score, like the music and shit, well, not shit and stuff. I just feel like they picked great scores for this movie, and I like that also. Okay, my next thing I liked is how the movie, like their movie they're making in the movie, and the real events in that movie, if that makes sense, are related. Like whatever plays in the movie, their movie, what the cast and crew are creating. So when we're watching their movie in the film, and then it like kind of switches to like real events like between that, and I feel like that's like kind of they're kind of related, if you know what I mean. And I did like how the film they're creating is kind of related because it wasn't just out of the blue or anything. It was like, well, part of the movie, if you know what I mean. Like it made sense. It wasn't just some random, what dirty movie, but I did like how their movie was related to the real events. The next thing I liked was Lorraine trying to fit in because she was kind of the oddball and the silent one, and she wasn't even doing any of like the scenes and stuff. But watching like all that going on, she like wants to fit in. I did like that about her character because she just wants to be cool or something. I don't know. Yeah, well, and constant her relationship, so she's just trying to fit in, and I did like that about her character. Okay, the next thing I liked is well, the quote Maxine says is like, "I will not accept a life I do not deserve." Like, it kind of symbolizes like Pearl wanted that life, and basically saying that that should be Pearl's life. I don't know if they meant it like that, but that's what kind of thing I was getting. But I did like how, yeah, I just it's all confusing. But I like how Pearl, well, wanted that life, and it feels like they're saying that should have been Pearl's life and stuff. But yeah, I did like that. And the next thing I liked were the kills were good. We didn't get that many. Well, we did get that many kills. Yeah, we did. The kills were brilliant. They're brutal. Some did feel like not right, but yeah, I loved all the kills mostly. I feel like they were, well, most of them were brutal and unexpected. And I did like, I love the unexpected kills because I'm not even like, well, sensing them was going to die yet, then they just die like that. There's so many surprising kills, unexpected kills in this movie, and yeah, I love that. Okay, the next thing I liked was good story. I liked the story of Pearl, and it made me interested in her character a little bit more. Like at first, I was confused, like when she started dancing, because yeah, she starts dancing after she kills someone. I was like, why is she? What is she doing? And then obviously that explains it in Pearl. And also, I didn't know that X and Pearl were related. I thought X was just some single film. But then I saw Mia Goth because I knew Mia Goth was in Pearl. I saw her in this movie. And then when Howard calls, well, Pearl Pearl, I'm like, X and Pearl related because that's what vibe I'm getting, and I got it right. So I predicted right. I didn't know at first, like when I was watching this movie, but I searched it up during the movie, and yeah, it's related. So. And then the last thing that I liked was the good tension building. Like the tension was so good in this movie, like and the suspense. The suspense was also good. I didn't. It's still like creepy, and I like that creepy vibe to this movie. Like it gives. I don't know what movie it reminds me of, but it does remind me of one movie. But I did like the tension and the suspense building up. It's like this movie just gives me a creepy just it's just creepy, and that's what I love about this movie. Okay, now on to like the dislikes. I only dislike one thing, and it's not really like that big. It just made me uncomfortable, but that's not even that big. Like so obviously some scenes made people uncomfortable, but that's not really a dislike. It just I didn't really like. I was like, ugh. But yeah, that's like the only dislike. But it's not really a dislike. It's just a nitpick again. But that's the only thing I dislike. And I swear General Ortega is going to be the new Scream Queen of horror. Like, I love seeing her in horror. Like, I really hope she appears in more horrors in the future. And she's obviously in Scream 6, which I'm anticipated about seeing her in. And I feel like she'll do a brilliant job. But I really want to see her in more horror movies because she does so good in them. And that, yeah. And then, like, she just deserves to be in more horror movies, in my opinion. She does so good in them. And, oh, her screen gave me the chills. Okay, anyway. On to my overall. I give it, because I'm going to start rating stuff out of 5 because that's what everyone's doing. I've been rating them out of 10, but I'll be with the other YouTubers and just rate them out of 5. So I give this movie a 5 out of 5. I love this movie. Probably one of my favorite horror movies of 2022. I feel like, well, everything about it was just good and brilliant. And I'd rewatch it anytime and everything. But yeah, that's my review for X. Yeah, I loved it, and also I think this is the first A24 movie I've watched, and they just so good, and I want to see more A24 horror movies. And it's obviously directed by West, or whatever his name is, and he did a good job. And all the cast and crew, the acting, just everything about this movie is just perfect. And one of my favorite horror movies of 2022. So yeah, loved it. Definitely rewatching, and I hope you enjoyed this review. And next week I'll be doing my Pearl review because I've obviously watched Pearl after I watched X, obviously in order as well. So yeah, I'll upload that next week. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe for some more horror content you want to see. Obviously, comment what you think of this movie. I'd love to hear your opinion, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.